everyone and welcome to East Rani. Today we'll discuss a topic from our grammar portion, that is active and passive voice. After watching this video, you will be able to do any questions that might come in your exam to change active from active to passive voice or from passive to active voice. So let's discuss first what is voice. So what do you understand by voice? Voice is the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence is the doer of the action or the receiver of the action. So what voice shows, voice se ki dekhai je eta sentence jitu subject hoy, sentence to jitu subject hoy, subject to kono eta action kori ase na action to receive kori ase, setu hetue voice dekhai. Then there are two types of voice, active voice and passive voice. Active voice is when the subject does the action, jeta subject e kono eta kaam kore, jeta action to kore. For example, Ria eats rice. Here subject is Ria, right? So Ria e ki korise, bhat khoa kaam to korise, action of eating rice. So hekane Ria is the doer of the action, and here the subject receives the action. Passive voice ki hoy, subject to action to receive kore. Here the subject is rice is eaten by Ria. So there subject here is to subject hoy Ria ki hoise receive kori ase, so to action hoy. So rice is eaten by Ria dara bhat khoa hoise ba bhat Ria dara khoa hoise. So yate Ria e jitu action aitu receive kori ase, that is why ami ko paru je etu eta passive voice ot ase. So in active voice the focus is on who does the action, kune kaam to kore. So yate Ria kaam to korise, the Ria kaam to korise, so ei karone focus is on Ria. And then passive voice on the focus is on what is done, so ki kaam kora hoise hetur uporat besi focus kora, besi importance dia hoy. Next, the structure of active and passive voice. So active voice on ahe subject plus verb plus object. Yate subject kunto hoy, subject is she is the subject, its verb, and apple is the object part. So yate subject, verb and object jitu general ami English or sentence or structure boli ko. Then structure of passive voice, yate okay, first subject will come here, so subject first, then be verb, and then V3, that is past participle form of the verb, then by, and then subject. Oh, here that is object actually. Okay, let's write object here. Object, that is object of the active voice. See, to active voice or object hoy hetu, that will become the subject of the passive voice. So active voice or object to subject or position ahi jabo, and then active voice or subject to object or position ahi jabo, because generally ki hoy in English first subject to ahe, but yate passive voice or subject to jitu ahibo etu pisot bohi jabo, object or position bohi jabo, and then object to subject ot gusi ahibo. For example, an apple is eaten by her. So yate an apple, jihetu yate object hoy, object to ahibo, yate subject hoy jabo. Next is eaten, that is verb plus be verb plus V3, and then by, this is by, and then her, yate she will become her because she is the object here. Yate subject to object hoy goise, isn't it? So that is the structure of active and passive voice. Next, the rules to change the voice. So voice change koribo karone ki rule ami follow koribo lage. First, identify the subject, verb and object. Yate subject, verb and object ami identify koribo lagibo. First subject to hoise etu she, then verb V etu eats. Next, an apple is the object part. Next, ami move object to the subject place. So object to the subject place, object verb will come to the subject place. Here an apple will come at the place of the subject. Next, change verb into correct be plus V3 form. So verb jitu eats asile, it will become is eaten. So ami to sam pisot keneke tense to change hoy. Next, add by plus subject. So there by plus subject, by here, by and then subject, she, her, and then adjust tense correctly. So tense to jeneke ase ami eneke jitu ami tense change hobo etu ami sam olop pisot keneke change hoy. only transitive verb, those that take object can be transformed into passive voice. So jibilak sentence or transitive verb thake mane jibilak verb or object thake hebilake ami passive voice or transform koribo parisu. So that is very important. Next, tense wise conversion. So keneke tense wise ami converse keneke change koribo paru. Simple present কি হয় if the sentence in active voice is in simple present tense. For example, I eat rice. I eat rice or then it will become rice is eaten by me. So am is r plus v3. So yate jitu eat thakibo, eat ase jitu simple present tense hoy, then hetu jeta passive gui jabo, then tate hoy am hoy nohoy is nohoy r hobo and plus v3, the past participle form of the verb. The past participle form of the verb hetu bohibo because जिटु सब्जेक्ट হয় सब्जेक्टर হিসাবত হয় এম বহিব নহয় ইজ বহিব নহয় আৰ বহিব যেহেতু ইয়াতে ৰাইস আছে ৰাইসৰ লগত আমি ইজ লিখো গতিকে আমি ৰাইজৰ লগত ইজ লিখিছো বাট যদি আই থাকিলে হেতেন আইৰ লগত এম বহিলে হেতেন বা ইয়াৰ যদি প্লুৰাল থাকিলে ইয়াতে আৰ বহিলে হেতেন so that is how we change the sentence in simple present tense. Now come to present continuous tense. So present continuous, so there is an example, I am eating rice. So there, how it will change? We will have to use am or is or are plus being plus v3. So there, rice is it being eaten by me. So is hoise rice or logot is being eaten by me. After that, jitu ami paisilu by me, jitu passive voice ot ahibo. Present perfect ot I have eaten rice. So there, have or has to same hoy thakibo, tar logot v3 plus hobo. So sorry, have has at a been hobo, have has plus been plus v3. So yate the rice have been eaten by me. Rice have plus been plus verb or past participle form. Next, present continuous tense, there will be no change because present continuous tense to ami passive change koribo noaru. So etu ami bad dim. Next I will simple past. Simple past thought, for example, I ate rice. So I ate rice, so that time we change korim passive, then we will add was plus was or were plus v3. For example, rice was eaten by me. By me to hoda thakibo passive voice. So that is next past continuous tense. I was eating rice. There past continuous thought I was eating rice hoy thakile etu যেটা প্যাসিভ পদ করি আমি then was or were হবো next plus being next v3. So was being and v3 then by me to সদায় থাকিব. Past perfect tense, past perfect কেনেকে change হয়? Past perfect thought, for example, I had eaten rice. So there had or লগত আমি এটা been plus কৰিম, had plus been and plus v3. So তেনেকে আমি change কৰিম এটো rice had been eaten by me. Past perfect continuous etu ami change koribo noaru because etu passive ot ami nokoru. Then future tense or I will eat rice. So will shall thakile will shall plus v3. So etu ami gom palu je tense or khetrot hodai v3 use hoboe just tense to loi pelai. So if it is past tense then we will use was were or had and tar logot v3 আমি সদায় ইউজ কৰিব লাগিব, that is past participle form of the verb হেতু সদায় থাকিব and then by me part গোটেইখিনি structure যেটো আমি already discuss কৰিছো. Next let's discuss the sentence types, different sentence types. Sentence বিলাক কেনেকে change হয়? Passive of interrogative sentences. So interrogative কি আছিল? Those were the question sentences. আমি যিবিলাক sentence use কৰো to ask questions. So we can divide the interrogative sentences into two types. Interrogative sentences jitu asile yes no question and wh question. So yes no questions asile and then wh questions. So etu ebur question sentence keneke change hoy? Questions starting with do, does, did, has, have, is, am, was, were, will. So ebilak hoise wh yes no questions. These questions come under yes no question. So ebur keneke change hoy? First, Let's look at do, does, did. So এইবোৰ থাকিলে কেনেকে change হয়? Do, does, did থাকিলে plus subject থাকিব plus verb থাকিব plus object থাকিব, then a question mark. Active voice. Then when you change it into passive voice, ইয়াতে কি হ'ব? Is, are, was, were হ'ব according to the subject, and then plus object ahi gol, then V3 ahi gol, then by, and then subject, and then question mark. For example, do you eat mangoes? Here do ahile yate, isn't it? So do ahile yate, do you, subject ahi gol you, verb ahi gol eat mangoes, object ahi gol mangoes, then question mark. So it was a active voice. So this is in active voice. So how to change it into passive voice? Here am etu is, are, was, were jikunu eta hobo because etu jehetu do ase, and you mangoes are mango ki like mango ki plural form hoy, so we cannot use is, so we'll have to use are. And was were to hoboi noare because etu in present tense ot ase, etu sentence present tense ot ase, so obviously etu past etu past ot ase, sorry present ot ase, and ekhini past ot ase, so obviously ami egeta use koribo noaru. Why? Because these are used in case of past tense. egeta ase present tense, so either is hobo nohoy are hobo, jehetu jetu object hoy, object jetu subject hoy gol etu ase plural form mangoes, that is why ami is use koribo noaru, we will have to use are. So are mangoes eaten? There are mangoes, object mangoes, then V3 eaten, V3 eater, past participle form eaten, next by, and you, subject ahi gol yate you. So that is how you change the voice. Next, WH question. So এইবিলাক কোনবিলাক question হয়? Question starting with what, where, when, why, who, whom, how, etc. So এইবিলাক question আমি কেনেকে change কৰিম? Like where are you going, what are you doing, who are you? So এইবিলাক আমি কেনেকে change কৰিম? So active voice ত ইয়াৰে structure টো হয় first WH word টো আহিব, then auxiliary verb আহিব, then comes subject, and then comes verb and object, and then question mark. So passive voice ot ami ki keneke change korim? First ahibo WH word to, next ahibo auxiliary verb, then ahibo object, then be verb, then V3. V3 to hodai thakibo gutei bilak sentence and gutei bilak tense ote V3 will be there, and then by plus subject. Subject means subject of the active verb. Active voice or jitu subject asile hetu subject thakibo, but etu yate object hoi jabo, and yate bakikhini ahibo. So for example, who wrote this letter? Yate WH word to is who, then ahile auxiliary verb, there is auxiliary verb wrote, next subject this letter. Okay, who wrote this letter? So WH word, so there if you change it into passive voice, next etu ahibo by whom. First ahibo by whom was this letter written? Okay, there is some mistake here. So yate first ahibo WH word, all right. So WH word ahile, next ahibo the verb comes next, the subject will come next. Don't look at this part, this is wrong. Subject, and then comes the question mark, and then here by will come first, by, next the WH word, next the auxiliary verb, and then the object, and by whom was this, auxiliary verb, and then the object, and then V3, not by. This portion is wrong. All right, so there by will come first, by whom auxiliary verb, next comes the object, this is this letter, by whom was this letter written, the V3 part. This is the by, next auxiliary, next the WH word, next the auxiliary verb, and then the subject and the written. So that is how you change WH questions. Next, passive without agent. So agent nohoake keneke ami passive voice koribo paru. In passive voice, we should not use by plus agent when the subject is vague or unimportant to mention. So যেটা subject to not important হয় বা যেতিয়া subject to আমি গম নাপাওঁ তেতিয়া আমি by agent to use কৰিব নালাগে. For example, if the subject in active voice is someone, somebody, nobody, people, etc., then no need to use the by agent part. For example, people speak English all over the world. Here, passive voice will be English is spoken all over the world. By people, no need to use by people. No need to use this part. So no need to use this part. So English is spoken all over the world. Yate kono agent ami diya nai, by agent ami diya nai, because no need to use that part. Next we have imperative sentences. So ki hoy imperative sentences jibilakot ami question koru, jibilakot ami request koru, advice koru, suggestion diu. So hebilak hoise imperative sentences. They usually begin with a verb. For example, kisuman commanding sentence থাকে যিবিলাকত আমি বেলেগক command দিও যে do this, do that. So shut the door. For example, shut the door. So হেতু কেনেকে চেঞ্জ হয় প্ৰথমে লিখিব লাগে আমি let the door be shut. So this is how you change it. Yate imperative সদায় let, you will have to use let. Next, request. যিবিলাক request আমি কৰো হেবোৰ কেনেকে change হয়. Please open the window. So yate যেতিয়া open the window to আমি passive দিম, then তুমি লিখিব লাগিব you are requested to open the window. So this part is always constant. এখিনি সদায় একে থাকিব, to open the window. Next, advice. So advice or work hard. Then you are advised to, actually not requested, you are advised to work hard. Next, let's look at some exercises. But first, okay, am I catching the thief? So yate ki hoise, am I catching the thief? Etu ki tense ase? Etu ase simple continuous tense. Simple continuous tense. Next আমি ইয়াতে first চাব লাগিব what are the subject, verbs and object. First আমি কি গম পাইছো, এটো হৈছে subject, am I catching the thief, verb, then object. So ইয়াতে কি হ'ব, object will become subject and subject will become object. So object to কি হয়, thief, thief to first আহি যাব at the beginning of the sentence. So thief and being caught. So am is are eaten, যেটা আমি পাইছিলো am is are eaten হলে am is are being, am is are eating হলে am is are being eaten হয়. So এটো being eaten, being caught হৈ যাব past participle form of the verb catch, caught হৈ গল. Next আমি is to first আনি দিম because এটো এটা কি sentence হয়, এটো এটা interrogative sentence হয়. And if you go backward then to the previous slide, yes no question hole ki asile jetia is thakibo, is thakile hodai egata verb ami use koribo lagibo. So yate ami jihetu am ase, am to according to the object, according to the subject, yate is to change hobo am to is hoi jabo because thief or logot ami is use koribo lagibo. So is the thief being caught by me, because by me to last ot ahi jabo. Next, এটো যেটো সাবজেক্ট হয় এটো become object. Next, does he need a pen? ইয়াতে কি হ'ব, pen to does or লগত আমি is আহিব, যেটো আমি পাইছিলো আগতে, যেটো yes no question এর ক্ষেত্ৰত আহে. Here identify the subject, verb and object. So ইয়াতে subject হয়, a pen to, object হয়, এটো verb হয়, and এটো এটা yes no question word হয়. So question word to first আহি যাব does to is হৈ যাব because pen লৈ পেলাই penor যেটো সাবজেক্ট হয় হেতু according to the subject আমি যেটো verb হয় এটো চেঞ্জ কৰিব লাগিব be verb to. So is a pen, pen to first আহি গল, then subject question আহি গল needed. So does he need? So এটো সদায় past participle হয় সেইকাৰণে need will become needed, then by me. এটো portion to সদায় consistent. Next, did she help you? ইয়াতেও again she is the subject and you is the object, so object will become subject here, you, and she will come at the last, so yate object hoi jabo. Here where you logot obviously ami beleg use koribo nwaru, beleg auxiliary verb, so yate where use koribo ligo because it is jeto past tense on ase. So where you helped, help past participle form of the verb help is help. helped by her. Next, had she written a letter? So ইয়াতে কি হৈছে এটো past perfect আছে. So past perfect হলে কি হয়? Let's go back here. Past perfect. Past perfect. I had eaten. So have had eaten will become had eaten will become had been eaten. Had been plus past participle. So yate first had ahi gol, had been written. Yate written or jito past participle form to written hoy. So written ahi gol. Next she, subject will become object. Her, and letter will become subject. It will come at the beginning. Had a letter been written by her. Someone has stolen my watch. So there, as you can see, there is someone. So ami jeto paisilu je jetia there is an agent which is not important. When a subject is not important or vague, tetia ami by agent to use koribo nalage. Yate someone, no need to use someone while changing the voice. Someone has stolen my watch. So has stolen, have, has eaten ki asile, have or has eaten hole, this will become have has been eaten. So this is the past participle form of the verb. So yate ki hol, has stolen will become has been stolen. So my watch, it is to object asile, object will become subject. So my watch has been stolen. No need to put by someone here because that is not so important. By someone is not so important, so no need to put that here. Robbers looted the shop. Robber is the subject here, this is the verb here, this is the object here. So object will become subject, the shop, and then looted, the robbers, the shop was looted by robbers. You can also write robbers. So here, robbers, you can also write here robbers. So the shop was looted by robbers. Why it is not given here robbers to kyo diya nai? Because robbery ebilak loot kori loi jay, beleg manu to niniye, jibilake loot kori loi jay tarok robbery buli koy, he karone etu yate diya nai. But dileo kono kotha nai, nidileo kono problem nai, nidileo kono tumalokor wrong nohoy. So the shop was looted by robbers, or the shop was looted. Why was looted? Because etu ami ki paisilu I ate. So ate hole ki asile was where eaten, was where eaten, the past participle form. He karone yate looted will become was looted, was plus past participle form of the verb. Next, please bring a glass of water. Here it is an imperative sentence. So bring ahile, next etu ki hot, bring ahile, next glass of water ahile. So first ki ahiba please dia karone, যেহেতু এটা ইম্পারেটিভ সেন্টেন্স হয় আমি কি পাইছিলো ফার্স্ট, লেটস লুক এট দ্য প্রিভিয়াস সেন্টেন্স. সো প্লিজ ওপেন দ্য উইন্ডো, ইয়াতে কি হব, ইউ আর রিকুৱেষ্টেড টু ওপেন দ্য উইন্ডো. সো গোটেইবিলাকৰ এজ ইউ কেন সি এটা ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ হয়, ইউ আর এডভাইজ টু ৱৰ্ক হাৰ্ড, ইউ আর ৰিকুৱেষ্টেড টু ওপেন দ্য উইন্ডো. সো এগেইন ইয়াতে আহিলে লেট দ্য ডোৰ বি শাট. সো গোটেইখিনি একচুৱেলি এটা পইণ্টলৈকে সেম থাকে, টু এইখিনি খালি ডিফাৰেণ্ট হয়. সো ইয়াতে you are requested, you are requested to bring a glass of water. So you are requested to bring a glass of water. Next, switch off the light. Here etu eta hoy ki etu eta sentence hoy, enuko etu eta imperative sentence hoy. So no need to put by. So by dibo nalage because you etu so eta ami gome paise je ami you boli koa hoise. Hekarone let the light be switch off. Then help the disabled. So yate help the disabled etu eta ki hoy, the disabled etu eta imperative sentence hoy. So disabled should be helped. So as you can see, they all have the same structure. Next, do not smoke. Etu eta imperative sentence hoy, jitu a kind of advice hoy that you should not smoke. So hekarone ami dibo paru you are advised not to smoke. Not kyo equal because do not ahise, it's a negative sentence. So negative sentence, because it's a negative sentence, hekarone yate eta not আহি গৈছে so এটা যে থাকিলে হয় do smoke you are advised to smoke which is not which will not be a correct sentence I know her so I know her কি হব she is known to me because I will become the object of the sentence and then her will become the subject so she is known to me here it is in simple present tense so am is are I eat rice there is if you remember it will become am is are eaten so am is are eaten hobo সেইকাৰণে ইয়াতে কি হ'ল এম ইজ আৰ যিহেতু she আছে sheৰ লগত এম নবহে আৰ নবহে কি বহিব ইজ so is known isৰ লগত the past participle form of the verb known she is known to me get up early etu again another imperative sentence হয় সেইকাৰণে again আহি গ'ল you are advised to get up early so এই দুটা sentence মাজত এটাই difference হয় যে this is the negative sentence and this is the positive sentence সেইকাৰণে আমি ইয়াতে use কৰা নাই not use কৰা নাই and ইয়াতে not use আমি কৰিছো next some common mistakes so যিবিলাক question মানে কৰিবা question কৰিলে voiceৰ কিছুমান common mistakes হয় so এইবোৰ কেনেকৈ avoid কৰিবা first is a confusion with the verb form in passive voice always use the past participle form of the verb so এইটো যেটো মই already কৈছোৱে যে যেটা তোমালোকে when you are changing the voice from active to passive voice এতিয়া সদায় v3 form to use কৰিব লাগে verb সদায় v3 form to আহি যায় বেলেগ form নাহে past to nahe present to nahe hodai v3 form to ahe the work is do by him this is wrong the work is done by him done is the past participle form of the verb the work is done by him the book is bought by him so etu kebol passive voice or khetrot hoy this is true only in case of passive voice next wrong be verb form match the verb with the new subject so jetia tumaloke subject change koriba you know as the subject of the active voice becomes the object of the passive voice subject of the passive active voice becomes the object of the passive voice so this is passive this is active so subject to will become object of the passive voice and the object of the active voice becomes the subject of the passive voice so he karone ki hoy jeta tumaloke jitu be verb diba be verb to use korile etu according to the subject of the voice hobo lagibo jitu honok kyo active or holeo jitu subject hoy hetu hisabote be verb to use koribo lagibo and then passive word change koribo dileo তোমালোকৰ যেটো সাবজেক্ট হ'ব হেতুৰ হিচাপতে তোমালোকৰ নতুন সাবজেক্ট যেটো হ'ব নিউ সাবজেক্ট হেতুৰ হিচাপতে you will have to change the be verb for example the letter were written by him এটো এটা wrong হয় the letter was written by him because letter is a singular এটো singular noun আছে so এটো letters হল হতেন তেতিয়া হতে letters were written by him or them তেতিয়া হে এটো ইয়াতে were হল হতেন যেহেতু এটা letter আছে so ইয়াতে letter was written by him or them so that is how you change the be verb next forgetting by plus agent so jibilak sentence tumalokor by jibilak sentence tumalokor agent thake agent to important hoy jibilak jitu agent important hoy hebilak tumaloke you will have to use the agent teneke by plus agent to tumaloke likhibo lagibo agent means doer of action who does the action doer of action who does the action right so you will have to add by plus agent the work was completed so enege likhile tumalokor nohobo because who completed the work was completed by them or the work was itu tumalokor passive active thakibo or maybe the work was completed by him so the work was etu tumalokor according to the active voice maybe he completed the work. So there, the work was completed by him. So there, as you can see, work was completed by him. So never forget to add the agent part, by plus agent part. So that is very important. So তোমালোকে পাহৰি যোৱা যে এজেন্টটো দিব কাৰণে, সো তোমালোকৰ মাৰ্কস কাটা যাব. So that is the case. But তোমালোকে যেটো আগতে পাইছিলো যে কোনটো ক্ষেত্ৰত এজেন্ট দিব নালাগে, যেটো ক্ষেত্ৰত এজেন্টটো ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট নহয় বা ভেগ হয়, ফৰ এক্সাম্পল somebody, nobody, people. সো এইবোৰ যে থাকে তেতিয়া তোমালোকে এজেন্টটো ইউজ নকৰিবা, তেতিয়া বাই প্লাছ এজেন্টটো নিদিবা. বাট যদি নাথাকে, তাৰ বাহিৰে বেলেগ থাকে, then you will have to write by plus agent. That is very important. So those were the common mistakes that students make while doing voice exercises. Now let's revise what we learned today. First of all, so voice ki rakha voice shows whether a subject acts or receives the action. So eta subject ke kunuba ta kaam kori ase ne kaam to tar mane kaam to receive kori ase, action to receive kori ase. So hetu amak dekhai there are two types of voice, active and passive voice. Active voice or the subject performs the action, subject action to kore, like she plays badminton. She plays badminton. Here she subject kuntu hoy yare, she hoy, subject hoy she. So tai come to kori ase, doer of action, doer of action. Aru action to ki hoy, action play, playing, action of playing. So khela kaam to kori ase, she plays football, tai khela kaam to badminton khela kaam to kore. So she is the doer of action, ei karone she is the subject here. So tai kaam to kori ase. Then passive ki hoy, subject receives the action. Yate ki hoy, ami jerabe change korim, badminton ki hobo, eat, she eats rice, so rice is eaten by her. Badminton is played by her. So there, as you can see, she becomes the receiver of action. Tai yate subject tai yate ki hol, as it to action hoy badminton khelar, hetu just receive kori ase. So main focus to ki hor ahise, badminton khelar oporot main focus to ahise. He karone etu is in passive voice, it is in active voice. So passive voice kiyo koy, the subject is passive, or e karone active because subject is active. So that is what voice is all about. So তোমালোকে ভয়েসৰ যিবিলাক এক্সাৰসাইজেছ হয় সেইবোৰ এনেকৈ কৰিব লাগিব, যিবিলাক ৰুলছ হয় এইবিলাক ফলো কৰিব লাগিব. ফলো কৰিলে you will obviously be able to attempt the questions, you will obviously be able to change the passive to active voice or active to passive voice. So that is somewhat easy, isn't it? So if you have any doubts, you can ask in a comment section, and you revise the rules and you go through the PPT once again. The PPT will be given to you in the comment, it's in the description box below. And see you in next class with another chapter. And till then, take care. Thank you.